Are you ready to up your travel agency's presence online and help your clients and potential clients find you? I'm Dan, and I'm the COO at Beyond and Back Travel in Melbourne Beach, Florida. We've been around for over 40 years, but we've really only started investing heavily into our online presence in the past 2 years, and I can tell you it's already paid off in droves. Now I want to share some of the tips and tricks that we've used to be successful online with you so you can do the same. If you're just getting started, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through one of the most important, actually the most important first steps in building out your travel agency's online presence, and that's setting up your Google My Business profile. If you already have the basics covered, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're going to be covering more advanced topics to help you take it to the next level in the near future. We're going to be covering setting up and actually using analytics for your website, using paid marketing on platforms like Google Search, Facebook, and Instagram, and then just in general search engine optimization or SEO. But your Google My Business profile needs to be set up correctly, accurately, and optimized to make sure you show up as the #1 search result in your area when your clients or potential clients are looking for you before you even think about spending money on boosting Facebook posts or Instagram posts or anything like that. Your agency's profile on Google My Business will be the first thing that your clients or potential clients will see online in the vast majority of cases when they're looking for you. And investing just a little bit of time and effort into getting your agency's online presence set up correctly is one of the fastest, easiest, and most cost-effective ways that you can help new clients find you. Think of it like this. We spend a lot of time talking about how to optimize your marketing budget, where to spend money, where to advertise, where to allocate your time to help you find new clients. What we're going to talk about here is how to help new clients find you. The ones that already know you exist and they want to use you to book their next trip, or the ones that don't know that you exist yet and they're just looking for someone that can help them plan their next trip. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set up your Google My Business profile with all of the information and examples that you're going to need to get it done. Okay, let's get into it. Our goal here today is going to be to get your Google My Business profile set up so it is accurate, it is complete, and it is optimized to make sure that you are the first result on Google when people in your area are searching either for you specifically or for a travel agent more generally. The first step is to create a Google account if you don't already have one. If you do have one, you can skip this step if you'd like and just sign in to your Google account. Or you can set up a separate account to use just for your business if you'd like. It's free and you can have multiple different Google accounts if you'd like to keep things separate. Okay, now that you have your Google account, the first thing we're going to do is log into Google My Business with that account. Then you're going to do a search for your business by name. If your agency is listed and shows up here, go ahead and click on it, and then click on the Manage Now button. You will then need to verify that you're the owner of the business, which is a great feature that's going to prevent you from having someone like me take control of your business listing to use as an example. There are a few different ways that you can verify that you're the owner, based on what information Google already has. They all work similarly though. Basically, Google will get a code to you, and you need to use it here to prove that you're the owner. If Google already has your business phone number or email address, then they may be able to verify your ownership quickly by simply calling, texting, or emailing you a code. Otherwise, you'll need to select this postcard by mail option, in which case Google will mail you a physical postcard with a code printed on it, which you'll need to use here. This can take a few days, but in the meantime, you will still be able to update some basic information in your listing. If you use this method of verification, you'll need to log back in once you receive the postcard and enter the verification code. If when you search for your agency's name, it isn't already listed, then you'll need to create a new one. Going back to where you searched for your agency before, you'll see an option to create a business with this name. You'll want to click on that, and then Google will prompt you to fill in some basic information to get your profile started. The first is, of course, your name. Make sure that this is accurate to the name you do business as. This does not necessarily need to be your legal name, which might include something like LLC or Inc. at the end of it. Next is the category, and we're just going to pick travel agency. Now, on to location. If you have a storefront or a physical retail location, this is very important to fill out. This will let your listing show up in Google Maps based on your address, which will be published. If you do not have a storefront, you may want to select No here. You don't want to select Yes and put your home address in, for example, unless you want your home address published on Google when people search for your agency. I'm going to put in our address for now and just change the suite number so it's a little bit different. As you can see, Google found us and some other businesses with a similar address. They want to prevent duplicate listings, but in this case, we're setting up a new one, so I'm going to pick none of these. For service area, unless you just serve clients in your local area, you will want to be sure to select Yes here. Similarly, for the areas you serve, I'm going to be broad and just put in Florida. These questions are more important for things like a lawn service or something like that, where there's a more clearly defined area served. Just make sure you're not limiting yourself by entering a very narrow or small area in this section. Now, for the contact information. Again, this will be published publicly, so keep that in mind when entering your phone number, especially if you use your cell phone. For your website, you can enter the address here or just select No and enter it later. Click on Finish and you're done. Now that your listing is created and verified, or if you're still waiting for your postcard, stick along, we can still get this set up. The changes just won't take effect until you get that code. It's time for the fun part, actually completing your listing. I'm going to go through all of the most important areas here. Our goal, remember, is to make sure everything is filled out as completely and accurately as possible. The first step, obviously, is to log in to Google My Business, which will take you to your dashboard. Since you've either created or claimed your listing, you're going to jump right into the dashboard like you'll see here when you log in. From here, you'll see all these sections off on the left-hand side. Most of what we're going to focus on first, however, is going to be in this info section. So let's go there now. I'm going to be walking you through this using our agency's listing. So you'll notice that there's a lot of things already filled out, but we're still going to be able to go through the process for each section step by step. In the info section, the first step will be your business name and category, which should already be complete from the previous steps. But it's a good idea to double check that these two areas are correct now and update them if needed. The same applies for your address and service area. The Hours section is what Google will use to tell people searching for your agency if you're open or not, and if not, when you're going to be open next. Obviously, this is very important for potential new clients looking to contact you, but it also gives your listing a more complete and professional look, so it's important to get this section filled out. And it is very important to do this accurately. You don't want Google telling someone that you're open when you're not, to have them show up at your storefront and find out that you're actually closed. All you need to do here is switch on the days that you're open to open, and then type in the hours. We're not open on Sunday, so I'm going to undo that instead of saving it. This next More Hours section probably isn't relevant for most travel agencies. This is where other types of business can set different opening hours for different types of services, like you see here. If any of these categories do apply to you though, go ahead and fill them out the same way as in the previous section. Now, this next part under hours, called special hours, is important. This is where you're going to add any days where your hours are different than the normal ones you entered earlier. Most likely holidays. It is best practice to add any holidays that you're closed or any days where you have reduced hours here, as Google will show those holiday hours to anyone searching for you during the week of that holiday. You'll notice here that we have some old holidays from previous years, but down on the bottom, Google put in some upcoming holidays automatically. However, they don't know yet if we're open or closed. First, I'm going to go ahead and confirm that we are in fact open for Veterans Day, since we don't close for that holiday. Now, I'll confirm that we are closed for Thanksgiving and the day after. And I'm also going to add in that we're closed for Christmas and Christmas Eve as well, just like this. Next, on to the phone numbers. This, again, is probably already filled out from the previous steps, but if not, make sure your public phone number is in here and correct. If you have multiple phone numbers, you can also add those as well. For example, we have a separate phone line that we use for corporate and leisure. So I'm going to go ahead and add in our corporate phone number here now, since our listing currently only has our leisure number. Now to the short name. This is relatively new and it's not terribly important, but it's super easy to add, so I still suggest adding something in here that reflects your business name. This is limited to 32 characters and is what gets used to make links to your agency profile in Google Maps. It makes it nice to have a link like this to put on your website or Facebook or share with someone asking for directions. Otherwise, you'll end up with a link that looks like this. It still takes you to the same place and it's not a huge deal, but having the short name filled out with something that looks like the name of your business does make you feel a bit more professional. Okay, moving on. The next section is your website. Here, you want to put in your full web address, including the HTTP part. If your website uses TLS or SSL security, you'll want to use the secure version of your website address. That's the one that starts with HTTPS, not just HTTP. You might notice that we have some extra little bits added to our link after the question mark. Those are for tracking and analytics, which lets us see how many visits our website is getting from this listing. We're not going to get into that here, but we will in a future video. Okay, next up is the products section. For most travel agencies, unless you sell physical things, you're going to just skip over this section and move on to services. The services section is important. This tells potential clients as well as Google what exactly you have to offer. You can see that I already have a couple set up, but I don't have corporate listed, so I'm going to go ahead and add that one in now. Just click on Add Another Service, and then on Add a Custom Service. I'm going to call this one Corporate Travel Management and hit Save. Now I'm going to go back into that service that I just added, and I'm going to give it a description. The price isn't really relevant for this one, but if you want, you could fill that out if you'd like. For this section, I know that we all offer a lot of different services, but you don't need or want to list 100 things here. You do want to make sure that you cover all the major categories of the things that you offer, however. 5 to 8 items in this section is usually a good target. You'll notice that ours are fairly broad, but if you're more specialized, let's say you really just focus on cruises, you might want to take those 5 to 8 things and make them more specific. Maybe family cruises, group cruises, and transatlantic crossings, or something like that. You might also notice that there's an option down here to add another business category at the bottom. But for most travel agencies, there isn't really another category that's relevant, so we're not going to do that. Okay, back into the info section. Okay, this is a fairly new section, and it's a great one to fill out as it again will give your profile just a more polished and professional look. It's just good information that your potential clients may be interested in. And finally, the description. This part will be the most typing you're gonna have to do, although you're still only limited to 750 characters. This description shows up towards the bottom of your profile, so everyone may not necessarily see it. However, it is helpful for Google to use to understand what exactly you offer. And they do use this section to help understand what you do and if and when they should show you as a result for someone's search. So, you should aim to use up all of the space that they give you. The opening date, you can fill this out if you want. It's not all that important. We've been open for over 40 years and I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head, but if you know your opening date, go ahead and add it in here as well. Okay, we've made a lot of progress and we're heading into the home stretch. The last thing we're gonna cover is adding photos. This is extremely important. You want to have a lot, at least 10, high quality photos. And Google is very clear that listings with photos get better results. In the photos section, you will see this bar at the top with different categories. And we're going to stay in identity and overview for now. Notice that the first picture here says logo on it. There are two special types of photos, your logo and your cover photo. And both of them live in this identity section. We already have our logo added, but we don't have a cover photo. So I'm gonna add one now. If you don't have your logo in your profile yet, you'll want to add your logo in the exact same way that I'm adding our cover photo here. Just click on Choose Photo. Then we're gonna pick the photo that we'd like to use, and that's it. Back onto the overview area. Now you'll see our logo and cover are the first two pictures, followed by some other ones we've added in the past. To continue adding photos, just click the plus sign up here and add away. I'm gonna add this one from Kaboomin that we recently posted on our Instagram account a few days ago. Now, you might see I have some duplicates in here now. That's just from me creating this video and I'll clean those up later. That's it. Now, there is a lot more about Google My Business that we can cover. Messaging, posts, reviews, and so on. But we've already covered a lot here, so I'm gonna save those topics for our next video. Google My Business really is one of the most important and impactful things that you can do to build out your agency's presence online. And it's totally free, and I think you found pretty straightforward and simple to get set up the right way. If you have any unanswered questions at all about getting your profile set up on Google My Business, or if there's something we left out, or if you even have an idea that you'd like us to cover for a future video, please go ahead and enter those in the comments below and we will do our best to answer your questions and we will add those topics to our list for our future videos. See you next time!